Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Stedman. Today I'll be teaching you how to do this set of purl baby booties with a little owl face. Is the matching set for the hat that I did in my last video. If you don't see the video of the hat, I'm gonna leave the link here. You're gonna see an eye. You click in the eye and it will show you the link. So I hope you guys like it and give it a try. And here is the list of material you're gonna need to make them. To make these cute little owl boots, they are the set with the owl hat that I did in a video before. This is the material we're gonna use here. The yarn is the same that I use for the hats. It's a Snuggly Wiggly Big from Loops and Thread. It's soft yellow, 100% acrylic, 396 grams, but I already used some for the 3 owl hat and this booty, so I still look like I don't use anything at all, and is light 3. The netting needles are 2.5 millimeters, but if you want this booty to be a little bit smaller, you can use a 2 millimeters, and if you want a little bit bigger, you can use a 3 millimeters. You're gonna need tapestry needle and scissor. A measuring tape if you want to measure this part here at the booty, but I'm gonna give you the amount of rows, so the measuring tape is optional. You're gonna need a paper and a pen or a pencil to keep track of the rows. You're gonna need a pencil to mark the little eyes of the owl, and for the eyes I use, for the size, this little button here, I trace it on a cardboard and I cut it. And for the nose, I did like in a cardboard too, this little shape here. So you can play around with the little paper or cardboard and trace a little nose and eyes. You're gonna need ribbon and a safety pin to pass the ribbon if you choose to put the ribbon on the little booties. You're gonna need white and orange felt for the nose and the eyes, and thread matching the felt. So I have orange and white, and I have this one in black for the eyes. So I think that's it. That's everything we're gonna need to make these cute little owl boots. We're gonna start by leaving a tail long enough to cast on and enough to sew half at the little booty. You'll see when it's time to sew. So I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna come here. We're gonna cast on only 9 stitches because we are doing the sole at the booty, this part here, and this is only 9 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. You're gonna do a knot here to secure the stitch, and we're gonna work on a purl stitch the entire sole of the booty. So you're gonna purl back and forth. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So you have to mark each row. That way you know exactly what you do in the first one, you have to do in the second one. It's easy to keep track. So the next one again is a purl row. So we're gonna purl back and forth for 32 rows. I'm not used to work with very thin netting needles, so they're very slippery. This one's. So this is a very easy little pair boot to do. I've never done a pair. This is my first pair, so I'm sharing with you. And you'll see it's very easy to do. Not that much complication. So you're gonna continue working in the purl stitch until you have 32 rows. So I will do this off camera, and then I will show you what to do next. But remember, it's purl for 32 rows. Here I have my 32 rows, and look like this. Now we're going to increase in this side, and then after, when we turn our work around, we'll increase in the other side to create the side here at the little booty. This side in here. So we're going to increase 22 stitches on each side. So I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna purl in the first one, and I'm gonna pass that loop back to the needle, and that was one increase. Again, in that one you go back again, do a purl in that loop, you place it back to your needle. And you don't even have to remove this needle. You'll see. You purl, you place it back, and you see you already have your needle in there. You purl, place it back, and you already have your needle in there. So you're going to continue doing this until you have 22 increase plus the 9 of the center. The 9 stitches. Here I cast on my 22 stitches, so in total you will have 31, and this row is number 33, and you're gonna purl again. So you're gonna purl all the stitches all the way to the end. So you have to keep track of the rows that you're doing. So that's why it's nice to have a piece of paper and something to write with. That way you can do the two little booties exactly the same. So you're going to continue doing this. Purl all the way. Once you finish that row, it will look like this. Now you're going to do the same increase on the other side. So in a purl stitch, you're going to increase again 22. So you do the loop, you place it back. Another one, you place it back. And like so, you're going to do your 22 stitches of increase. Once you finish increasing those 22, this row number 34 you'll do in a purl stitch. Those 22, the 9 at the center and the 22 on the other side. Once you finish row 34, it will look like this. So we are working now row 35 in the right side of the piece because the tail is in the front. So we're gonna do a net row because we're gonna create this design in here. You see? So now we have to do a net row, and this is in the right side of the piece. So you're gonna net all your stitches. Here you finish row number 35. That was a net row. Row number 36 is a purl row. So you're gonna purl all the way to the end. So 35 was a net and 36 a purl. Once you finish row 36, it will look like this. Now row 37 is a purl as well. So 36 and 37 are purl. Now we are reversing the stitch. Okay? So you're gonna purl this row. So you're gonna purl all the way to the end. And yes, 36 and 37 are purl. And start to look like this. You see, start to change the design. Once you finish row number 37 of a purl row, you're gonna do row number 38 with a net row. So you're gonna net all the way to the end. And this is 38. To finish row number 38, row number 39 will be again a net row. So you finish 38 with a net, and 39 is a net as well. So you're gonna net all these rows till the end. Now we're going to do row number 40, and it's a purl row. I'm going to purl all the way to the end. Row number 41 is a net row. So you're gonna net to the end and it starts to look like this. We finished working this part of the booty. Now we want to work on this top okay, the top of the foot. So we're gonna knit 22 stitches. So once you have 22, I will meet you here. Here I have my 22 stitches. Now we're gonna work in the 9 center stitches back and forth. So we're gonna do 8 knit, and number 9 and 10 we're gonna do it together. So you're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and now 9 and 10 we're gonna do these 2 together, and this is the last row on net that we're gonna do. Let me fix this. This is it. Okay, so let's try this again. These 2 together. Okay, and that's the last of the net, because the top of the booty is all done in the purl row back and forth. Okay, and here is where we're gonna work one net, one purl. So now we're gonna turn our work around, and that was row number 42. We're gonna do row number 43. And we're gonna do the same repetition, but in a purl stitch. For now on, it's just purl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're going to do 9 and 10 together. And now we're going to turn our work around and do that repetition. Now for row 44, going to be the same repetition. Turn my work around, and you're going to purl 8 and 9 and 10 together. Now 9 and 10 together. It's very easy because it's exactly the same repetition what we're doing, back and forth. That was row number 44. So you're gonna continue with the same work, doing 8 purl and number 9 and 10 together. You will turn your work around, 8 purl, and then number 9 and 10 and this side together. So you're going to continue doing that decrease at the end of each row until you have 36 stitches on your needles. Okay, so remember, now I will do 8 purl, and this number 9 and number 10 here, I will do them together. And I will turn my work around again, 8 purl, number 9 and number 10 together. And that's what I did in this one here. I worked the stitches until I had 36 stitches left on my needle, and we are creating this top of the booty. Here I'm working in row 58 and I did my 2 together, so I have 36 stitches, and I'm gonna continue working all the way to the end in a purl stitch, and this is row 58. Now we finish with that part at the booty. It will look like this. Now we're gonna work on the top from here up. This part in here, you see, it's a little long, but I like to fold it. It looks really nice folded like this. So what you're gonna do now in row 59, you're gonna do a net and a purl, one net, one purl in this row. The next row we're gonna do the space where you have passed your ribbon, and then after that we're gonna work one net, one purl until we have the desired length. So you're gonna do this row 59, one net and one purl. Now we're gonna work row 60, and we're gonna do the space to pass the ribbon. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna purl 2 together, and we're gonna do a yarn over, 2 together, a yarn over, and all in the purl stitch, 2 together, and yarn over, and like this you're gonna work until the end. You only have to do the yarn over, because if you don't do the yarn over, remember when you do 2 together you are decreasing a stitch. So okay, once you finish row number 60, it will look like this. You see, you're creating the little space to pass the ribbon. So what we're gonna do now is one net, one purl, one net, one purl, one net, one purl in every single row until you have the desired length. For mine, for this one, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and in number 20, that was row number 80, I cast off or bind off. And that is the length that I gave to mine in here in the top. So you can do any stitches you like, but I'm gonna do one net, one purl. So I'm gonna net, and I'm gonna purl the yarn over. So I come like this and I do a purl. You're gonna do a net. Now you have here only 35 stitches. So now you're gonna do a purl back here, a net, and you see you're getting the little holes to pass the ribbon to the front, and you see you pass it through here and do a purl and then a net. Start to look like this. Once you finish row number 61, it will look like this. You see, that's for the ribbon. You're gonna turn your work around and you're gonna work in row number 62, and you work the stitches as you see them. You finish here in the net, and here you see that is a purl, so you're gonna start with the purl. So you're gonna purl 1, and net 1, purl 1, and net 1. So you're gonna work these 2 rows until you have 79 in total of the booty, and in row number 80 I will show you how to cast off or bind off. After that, we're going to be working in the little face of the owl, because we had to do that first before we close the little booty. That way it's easy to sew in here. You see the face with the open work. Once you finish the top, it will look like this, and in total you'll have 79 row in here. So from the beginning to here, 79 row. Now in row number 80, we're gonna do the cast off or bind off. So these needles are very slippery, so it's a little bit difficult for me to cast off. So I try my best. This is the thinner needle that I have. So you're gonna work your stitches as you see them. So the first one for me is a purl, so you will work a purl. The next one is a net, and I will do a net. Now I'm gonna pass the first one that I did on top of the second one, and you cast off your first stitch. The next is a purl, so you're gonna purl that one, and you're gonna pass the one in the back and top of that one. And the next one is a net. You'll net this one and pass this one and top of the one, this net. You see? So you're gonna continue doing this all the way to the end until you have one left. And don't cut the yarn. And I'll meet you. So you have one stitch left. You're gonna pull that out, and you're gonna cut a tail long enough, and you're gonna pass it through this loop, because you need that tail to sew the back of the booty and the side here, you know, one side, because the other strand is for the other side. Okay, so this will be sewn like this, and in here, you see, like so, in the center. So once you finish, it will look like this. And the right side is when you put that little piece facing you, and the tail from the beginning is in the right side. Okay, and then now we're gonna cut the eyes and the little nose for the owl. If you like, you can work in the two pieces like this and have them, the two of them ready, and then after that you just have to sew the little eyes and the nose and finish it up. And you have to do the other one exactly the same as this one. So like I mentioned, with this button I cut a piece of cardboard to cut the eyes, so you have to cut 4 eyes and 2 nose. So since I did that one, I only have to do 2 eyes and 1 nose, and I will do that off camera and I'll show you how to continue. Once you finish cutting, you will, with the pencil, you will trace like a smiling face in here, and both try to be exactly, well, not exactly the same, but as close as you can. And then you'll do the 2 eyelashes in the side, so one had to be in one side and the other one in the other side. Okay, here I put them in place, and I put some needles to hold them in place. So now we're gonna start sewing. If you see in the video at the hat, we're gonna sew them exactly the same as we did the face in the hat. So first we're gonna attach the eyes and then the little nose, and that's why it's better to do it before you close everything up. That way it's easier for you to sew. To sew the eyes, I'm gonna pass the needles through the felt, and I'm gonna hide that little tail underneath, and I'm gonna pass the needle through the booty and the felt again in the same space, and create a loop and pass the needle through that loop, and that way I secure my stitches. Now you're gonna pass through the felt, but remember you have to create a loop in the top with the thread. That way you can do the stitch and secure all the way around the felt, because when you wash the booty, you don't want the felt to fall apart. So this is the stitch that you'll do all the way around the 2 eyes and the little nose. Here I'm gonna do the last stitch, and it's exactly in the same space that I did the first one. You're gonna pass it through, and don't forget the loop to secure that stitch all the way around the eye. And then after that, you're gonna pass your thread to the back, and you're gonna lose that tail, securing very well the thread, and then you will work in the other eye exactly the same as we did in this one. You'll work in the other one and then in the little nose. Here I finished the two little eyes. Now I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna sew the nose. So the stitch is exactly the same. The only thing that in the corners of the little nose you have to work 3 stitches, one on each side and one in the center. That way, again, the felt don't fall apart when you wash your piece. You want to secure the stitch all the way around the nose. Okay. You're going to continue sewing exactly the same all the way around and finish exactly how I show you how to finish the little eye. Once you finish sewing the eyes and the nose, we're gonna sew the entire piece. So, and here I sew through the inside halfway and then halfway through the outside and here. So I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do that. And we're almost done, and look at the two little faces are the same. Now with the tapestry needle, we're gonna sew the back front side out. We're gonna sew halfway, and you have to make sure that you have your piece even. So you're gonna sew back and forth until you get to almost halfway. Now we're gonna turn our piece, and through the right side we're gonna finish sewing until the end where the heel is. Exactly the same, and making sure that you have your work even. I'm at the end, and like you see, my work is even in here. And then after I finish here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna mark the middle at the bottom part, and we're gonna start sewing from the middle to one side, and then after with the tail that we have there from the beginning, from the middle to the other side. So it's very easy. You're going to continue sewing to the corner, and that will be the heel of the booty. And then after to the side. We finish there, that's the heel, and now to the side you're going to do exactly the same and making sure your work is even. Here I'm getting to the end, and you see my work is even. So what we're gonna do now is, when we finish here, we're gonna pass our needle through the inside, and we're gonna lose that tail. And you have to make sure that you secure your work really well, because you don't want this to come undone. After that, I will show you how to sew the other side. Maybe you think this is overkill, all the back and forth that I did, but I don't want this to come undone as you wash the little booties. So this is what it look like, and we're gonna do the same on the other side. Now that tail that you have there from when you start, you're gonna bring it to the center at the heel to start sewing from the center to the other side. See? That's why I told you to leave a tail long enough for sewing. That way you don't have to get a new strand of yarn and more tail to lose, and you don't want to have all those little knots inside the booty. So you're going to do exactly the same in this side as you did in the other one. It's very easy. So, and you just have to make sure that it's even all the way to the end. So you're going to continue all the way to the end and loose the tail through the inside, making sure that you secure really well that tail. And then what we have to do is pass the ribbon, and we have done our first little booty. So like you see, it's a very easy work to do. When you finish, it'll look like this. And if you will like, you can leave it without a ribbon. You know, just fold it in here. You don't have to put a ribbon, but for mine I like with the ribbon, that way it can be secure in the baby's feet. So now with the safety pin, you're gonna pass your ribbon through the little holes that we created for the ribbon, and you're gonna go back and forth, and you're gonna leave long enough to create the bow, and we finish. After you finish your bow and you cut your ends, I'm gonna cut mine in an angle. You can cut them straight, it's up to you. With the lighter, I'm gonna give it a little bit of heat. I don't gonna touch the ribbon, just a little bit of heat, close enough but no touching. That way the ribbon don't fall apart as you wash your little booties. That stop from breaking apart. Well, this is the end result, and look how nice this pair of booties look. Not bad for my first set. So I have a surprise. For next video I will be teaching you how to do a pair of mittens that will be a matching for this set. So I hope you guys like it, and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are not already a subscriber. And if you make this piece and you want to send me some picture, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Stedman, or you can find me in my Instagram, Ruby Stedman Crochet. Please share my videos with friends and family, that way you help me grow here in YouTube. And for more videos, check my channel, that I have a lot of them, either for kids or adults. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.